Want to first give a happy Father's Day salute to all the brothers out here. I don't know if you was out here Friday, but we had a nice event going on, thousands of people, and the fire department decided it was too many people and they shut it down early. And then they did what they do and they tried to bully people up out of here, so the young people did what they do. But one of my brothers pointed out to me is we need more fathers out here. A lot of our brothers are locked up right now. That's part of what's happening in our community. That's where a lot of the fathers are at, sitting behind bars. Two, there we go. So I want to bring it back to Juneteenth. Can any young person out here tell me what Juneteenth is about? I guess you'll be the youngest person. Want to come tell us, Vicky?
Damn.
Hey y'all, I'm the Queen of African Town. So Juneteenth is really about emancipation from slavery, when we're all supposed to be free from the white people's hands, but we're still going through battles as black people right now. So
That's right, and that's basically it. But I want to bring up that it's about time for a Juneteenth Part 2. Though we were emancipated from chattel slavery, most of us find ourselves in a wage slavery, economic slavery. And a result of that right now is a lot of black people being pushed out of Los Angeles. A lot of black people being pushed out of California. And part of the problem is too many of us, when it's happening, we look at it as an individual. Oh, I'm not making enough money. I need a better job. I can't find a job. But what we're not understanding is this is systemic. These things are manipulated systemically. They're engineered systemically, push us out the workforce, raise up the cost of living. Some people get out here and they start robbing and stealing, selling dope, figure out ways to come up till we get locked up. But again, it extracts us from the community. Some people who are fortunate, they look for another city that they can afford and move to, relocate. How many people here know someone who over the past year got evicted? Somebody that lost their home over the past year. Somebody lost their job over the past year. We are in $1 trillion city. This city generates trillions of dollars every year. But the rate at which black people are sleeping on the sidewalk keeps going up. The rate at which black businesses are going out of business keeps going up. A couple months ago, we had to go down there and help Chef Marilyn, because Chef Marilyn found herself in a situation with some predatory investors to where she was about to lose her business. A couple days ago, they had a meeting right here on Crenshaw and 39th for the district. The district is about to go out of business. But again, when we look at this individual, we think, oh, it's just the district. Oh, it's just Chef Marilyn. But you look up a couple months later and all these black businesses are gone. That already happened when they put this train down Crenshaw. Over 100 black businesses gone. But again, the problem is when it hit each and every single one of them, they looked at it as an individual. Not understanding it's a systemic attack. So if it's an attack, we must identify who is making that attack. That attack is quite often carried out by our political leadership. And for us, I would say misleadership, because nobody been fighting for us. The most we hear that happens for us, nonprofits are getting grants. They pick and choose which nonprofits get these grants, get funding. But we saw last summer when other people were under attack by ICE, they helped people pay their rent. The city gave them cash cards, $300 on their cards. The county gave them $5,000 to help their businesses each person. But on the flip side of that, that's what I'm getting to. Them same misleaderships who did that blocked our reparations. California acknowledged that they owe us. In 2024, we had 2 bills go through the legislative process. One, to establish an agency to identify which of us descend from those, our ancestors who were enslaved, kidnapped, and enslaved. That's something I want to raise up as we talk about Juneteenth and folks say emancipation. It wasn't something nice. Our ancestors had to fight their way out of that. And Abraham Lincoln recognized our ancestors were fighting. It wasn't some favor he just granted us. He saw that as an advantage for the North over the South to further incentivize us to raise up and fight against those plantation owners. But the state of California acknowledged they played a role in that. At one point, over 2,000 of our ancestors were enslaved in this state. And they know from emancipation till now, whether it's been Jim Crow, black codes, redlining, mass incarceration, flooding our communities with drugs, ain't no white boys went to prison for that. I'm pretty sure all of us out here know multiple people who went to prison for that. So the state of California acknowledged they owe us reparations for all of these conditions, from slavery till now. But 2 years ago when we had 2 bills go up, it was our own black misleadership who blocked those bills. And some of our folks got right back out there and voted for them once again. That's insanity, loved ones. If you are in a toxic relationship and somebody is abusing you, you don't keep staying in that relationship. You can't keep blaming that person if you choose to stay connected to that person. And that is what's happening with us politically. As I said, the fact that most of us can't afford rent, can't afford to eat, can't afford to live in this city, is not a fault of our own. They are systemically doing that, and the same people who many of you are voting for are the ones engineering that. Now, of course, they ain't doing that on their own. Couldn't no black folks be in office doing that on their own. They would have snatched them out already. So there's money behind them financing, incentivizing this. And I'm going to just keep it 100. A lot of times we get called anti-this when we speak on it. It's these fake Jews, known as Zionists. Everywhere you look, you will identify these Zionists are right there. And part of why we know for a fact that is them, because everywhere, any city, state across this nation right now that acknowledges they're going to pay us reparations, it's some Jew taking out a lawsuit to block it. Imagine that. Excuse me, let me say Zionists, to be a little more specific. They are still getting paid all across this country right now for a Holocaust that happened way somewhere else. But yet, they want to block us from getting our reparations. And part of it because they were involved in it. They own the slave ships, they own the insurance company, they own the banks, everything that profited off the transfer of our ancestors. Selling our ancestors like property, like commodities. But these same dirty people today, they banks are still robbing us. 2008, over 240,000 black families lost their homes to these legalized predatory loans. They say it's legal to rob us. Let somebody run in your house and steal your remote, they go to jail. But the bank can steal your whole house and then turn around and take your neighbor's house and then your auntie house, And they tell us this is legal. Too often we say, oh, we not political. I'm not involved with that, but yes, we are, loved ones. We are on the bad end result of not being political. And it ain't just about voting. I can tell you right now, them numbers we just saw was rigged. We don't want to talk about that because I know a lot of folks favor the people who won. But the reality was they were on Skid Row and other parts of this city paying people to register to vote, paying people to vote so them numbers could come out the way they wanted. Because what we don't want to acknowledge here in the city of Los Angeles, throughout the state of California, these are black Democrats. Until we acknowledge what's really happening, we can't change it. And we don't want to acknowledge, oh, I don't like how that sounds, I don't feel that. That's part of the insanity that allows this to continue to happen. We gotta hold our own accountable. That's the only reason I ran. And I'm not sad that, they put out numbers that said I didn't win. I didn't want to be up there in Sacramento with all them white devils. Huh? I don't know how I could have contained myself to debate. I can't debate while black people out here dying on the damn sidewalk. A 1-year-old baby was left to die on the sidewalk, and they got you talking about Palestine, they got you talking about Israel, they got you talking about ICE, everything but the fact we are being erased out this city right now, and ain't nobody fighting for us. So again, please pay attention to who you voting for. Why weren't they here Friday, huh? Isaac said it was his community that voted him back in the office, so how come he didn't come out here and celebrate with his community? Because he know we didn't vote him in that office. He paid for them votes. So the whole entire black caucus, they was up in Sacramento on Friday because they were too scared to be in their districts because there's enough of us now who know what they're doing and are ready to hold them accountable. So again, this is why I'm saying we ready for a Juneteenth Part 2. It wasn't something that was given to us. It was something we had to fight for. And it's something we're going to have to fight for today, loved ones. Part of that's voting. Part of that's how you spend your dollars every day. I'm grateful for this younger generation right now that is sanctioning the Asian community that has preyed on our wealth for too damn long. Since the late 80s, early 90s, right here in this city, the Asians have pretty much taken over all the markets throughout our community. And over the past 10 years, they stopped hiring us and started hiring other people. Huh? Burger King, McDonald's, that used to be a job for teenagers. Now you go in there and find middle-aged people from other communities holding down them jobs forever. No more jobs for our young people, so that's why they out here robbing. That's why they out here prostituting. Huh? But then they tell us to blame them. This system engineers these conditions and then blames the product of these conditions. Nah, y'all, we gotta break that. Huh? We see our people acting up, pull them to the side, talk to them, stop calling 911. Because they don't just come to deal with what you calling them for. Quite often we find the one that call them gets killed. We have to step back up and take control of our community, a little bit of community we got left, or we ain't gonna be here too much longer. So I ain't gonna take up too much more time, but I do appreciate y'all for coming out. I want to thank Sabrina for once again taking the lead on making this happen. You know, a lot of times, a lot of these events, some of our vendors can't afford to be in there because the money they pay to be in it, sometimes they don't even make it back. So this gives them an opportunity to, again, we ain't got no other jobs, y'all. We got to create our own jobs. And this is a part of that. This is the beginning of that. Also, communicate with everybody that's out here, because when it comes down, as these things start getting rougher, we find as more people take over our communities, it gets more hostile. Huh? We're seeing that every day, and this right here is who got your back. This right here is who's going to support you in the time of needs. So again, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Black power.